Good morning, Northwestern. So we are going to continue working on our addition. So let's go ahead and get started. So scholars, today I want to start off just by listening to a quick story. So 6 bears were walking in the forest. Show me the bears using your counters. So I know that because we are not in our classroom, we do not have our 10 cubes. So what I would like you to do is have a scratch piece of paper and then draw and represent the 6 bears walking in the forest. So as you guys do it, I'm going to follow along. Here are my 6 bears. So I'm going to draw just circles because I don't know how to draw bears. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the story continues. 3 more bears came to walk with them. Show me the new bears using your counters. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to represent my new bears in a different color. And I'm going to draw 3 more bears. So I have 1, 2, 3. Now it says, now put your 6 and 3 cubes together. In this case, we're going to put our drawings together, and then we're going to find out how many bears were walking. So again, I'm going to use my black pen. I'm going to put them together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to use my red to represent the 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then from there, so I can figure out and not make any mistakes how many bears were walking in total, I'm going to write and label my picture. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I can see that there were 9 bears walking all together. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that into a number sentence to represent my picture. So first I have 6 because 6 bears started walking. So I'm going to go 6 plus, because I want to find how many bears were walking all together. And then 3 more bears came to walk with them. So I'm going to add 3. As you can see, that my 3 additional bears right here. And then I'm going to put my equal sign, 9. So this tells me that 6 plus 3 equals 9, or 6 and 3 is 9. So 6 and 3 is 9. 6 plus 3 more equals 9. So let's go ahead and listen to this story. Now, this is where I want you to, after you're done listening, pause the video, work it out on your own, and then come back and check your work. So here is this next problem. There were 3 bears sleeping and 7 bears playing. How many bears in all? So go ahead and pause it and draw your picture to represent your number sentence, and I've even helped you start the beginning of your number sentence. So remember that part plus part equals whole. So go ahead and get started and then come back and check your work. Okay, so now that you guys have checked your or have finished your problem, we're going to go ahead and check our work now where you guys can see if you got it right. So follow along. So I'm going to use pink. So there were 3 bears sleeping. So I'm going to draw 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to change my color just to represent the bears that were playing. And there were 7 bears playing. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or sorry, I need to count or draw 7 more bears. Ms. Samanjic almost made a mistake. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the question asks how many bears in all. So first, I'm going to fill in the parts of my number sentence, and I'll go ahead and break it down this way. I see that I have 1, 2, 3 bears that are sleeping represented in my circles. So my first part is going to be 3. And then let's change it to blue. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are playing. So 7. And then my total, to help me find my total, I'm going to go ahead and label all of these bears. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that tells me that 3 plus 7 equals 10, or 3 and 7 make 10. So when I have 3 and I add 7, I get 10. So 3 plus 7 more make 10. Okay, let's continue practicing. So Miss Music had 4 pennies. Miss Weed gave her 5 more. How many pennies does Miss Music have now? So go ahead and pause the video and work this problem out on your own, and then come back to check to see if you're right. Okay, scholars, now that you have done the problem on your own, let's go ahead and double check. So again, I'm going to start my problem with a picture to help me solve and answer how many pennies Miss Music has now. So my first part of my problem says Miss Music had 4 pennies. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to change my color just so you guys can see how many more she had. And then it says Miss Weed gave her 5 more. So I'm going to draw 5 additional circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it asks, how many pennies does Miss Music have now? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to write the beginning of my number sentence, so then I can quickly just fill in the whole or how many she has altogether. So I see that I have, or Miss Music started with 4 pennies first, because I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles in red. So I'm going to write 4 plus, and then I'm going to change my color just so you guys can see. And then I see that Miss Weed gave her 5 because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies or circles in blue. So 5, and then I'm going to go equals, because now we can figure out our total. And just like we always do, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my labels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 plus 5 equals 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9, or 4 and 5 make 9. So 4 and 5 make 9. 4 and 5 more make 9. Okay, last story, just like the ones before, go ahead and pause it and work it on your own, then come back and check out to see if you got your answer correct. Zoe had 2 circle magnets and 8 rectangle magnets. How many magnets does she have? Go ahead and pause right now and get to work. Okay, now that you guys have finished your problem, let's go ahead and check. So I'm going to use red. Okay, it says Zoe had 2 circle magnets. So I'm going to draw 2 circles. 1, 2. And 8 rectangle magnets. So then I'm going to draw rectangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come down here. 5, 6, 7, 8. So now that I've drawn my picture, let's go ahead and label to see how many Zoe had. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I see that Zoe has 10 magnets altogether. Now I'm going to write my number sentence to represent what I have drawn. So she has 2 circle magnets. I can see that here. So that's going to be my first part. 2 plus my second part are going to be all the rectangular magnets. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So plus 8, which equals, and we've already found our total of 10. So this tells us that 2 plus 8 equals 10, or 2 and 8 makes 10. So 2 plus 8 more will give you 10. So 2 plus 8 more will give you 10. Now it is time to do our exit ticket. Just like all the other exit tickets, go ahead and pause the video and complete on your own. Come back and we will do it together. Okay, scholars, now that you have done this on your own, let's go ahead and check to see if you are right. Choose the number sentence that matches the picture. So we can see here that there's x's. So we are looking for a subtraction because I know that when you take things away, you x out your picture. But before we can do that, let's go ahead and label our picture so we can find our whole, because I know in subtraction that our whole is always our first number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I see that I have 10 cats all together before I start crossing things off. So let's go ahead and look. I see 10 and 10 and 2, but I also notice that this is an addition problem. So this I know is not going to be an option. Now, let's see how many we crossed off. I'm going to go with red so you can see, and I'm going to start counting to see how many we took away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I see that we crossed out or took away 8. So let's go ahead and look down here. 10 minus 5 equals 5. I know that that's not correct because that doesn't show that I crossed off 8. That shows that I would cross out 5. So 10 minus 8 equals 2. That shows that my total was 10, and I did cross out 8, and that left me with 2 cats left over. So this is the correct answer. Okay, scholars, so that is it for today. Go ahead and continue to practice your flashcards. The link is down below, and I will see you later. Have a wonderful day.